Alright, so in this video, we're going to be applying some of the class guidance we looked at in the previous video. So I'm starting off in our app.css file. I'm then going to create a new class with a full stop or period and call it small-text. I want to give it a font size of 12 pixels. Now the small text also has the same properties as the paragraph and anchor tag. A font weight of 400, line height of 1.5, Poppins family, and this grey color. So I'm just going to go group it up here as well. I'm going to type comma and then add the class small text. So in summary, I've created a small text class which has a font size of 12 pixels and also shares the same styles with our paragraph and anchor tags. I now want to go add this class inside our HTML. I'll pop our CSS on the right here so we can see the HTML on the left. I'm going to scroll down to the button, and inside this paragraph here, I'm going to add the class small text. So this text, made with love in London, will now be 12 pixels. So let's check this out in the browser. So if I scroll down to the bottom of the page, you can see this text, made with love in London, is now a lot smaller. It's 12 pixels. Let's start creating our button components. I'm going to create a new class called btn. And like we saw earlier, this will be the structure of the button. There's only so much we can do for now, as we need to learn a little bit more about the box model in the next topic to fully flesh out this button. But let's start adding the text properties we can. We'll give it a font weight of 400. The font family will be Poppins, with a backup of sans serif. We'll give it a font size of 16 pixels. And because this is used on an anchor tag, we're going to give it text decoration none. Let's now add the styles for the primary and secondary button. I'm going to define a new class, btn-primary, and we're going to give it our primary color, which I can easily grab from up the top here, the sky blue base primary color. We'll create the button secondary, btn-secondary, grab our curly brackets, grab the color property, and grab the base secondary color, which we called lavender. Now in the actual design, the font color is actually white, and the background color are these colors. We will update that a bit later, when we talk more about the CSX box model in the next topic. But for now this is good, because we've set up a good modular structure using classes. So next up, let's go and apply these classes inside our HTML. So I need to apply the primary button in a few locations. The first is in the register anchor tag. So I'll grab class, I'll type btn to grab the button structure, and then btn primary to grab the specific styling for the primary button. This same primary button is also used on the get started anchor link in the hero section. So I'll copy this class and paste it over here. We're then going to apply our secondary button in the call to action section on this hyperlink over here. So again, I'll grab the class attribute, I'll type btn to get the button structure, and then for the secondary button to apply that style, we type btn-secondary. So let's check this out in the browser. So you can see nothing crazy has happened. All we have so far is the register and get started hyperlink in blue, and at the bottom of the page in the call to action section, the get started hyperlink over here has purple text. We'll be adding in different styling to our button structure, like padding, etc., to make these hyperlinks look a lot more like buttons. Now, you may be wondering, why didn't I just get rid of this anchor tag? If I'm going to be applying the btn style to all our buttons, what's the point of still having this? Well, at the bottom of the page, we have these links here, home, login, and register. And these aren't styled like buttons. They're just navigation text, so we still need to keep this anchor style for navigation items like this. Whereas all the other anchor tags on our homepage, like get started here, learn more and get started, and login and register, will be styled like buttons. So we'll be using these styles here. But at the end of the day, we are still applying them to an anchor tag, which is why we need properties like text decoration none, and font size 16 pixels, which we decided in our style guide would be applied to anchor tags. So in a nutshell, these classes are styling anchor tags, which will look like buttons, and this type element is also styling an anchor tag. Now in theory, all these styles are actually defined in our CSS. Because at the end of the day, the button class is being applied to an anchor tag. If we look at our anchor tag styling, we have text decoration none, font size 16 pixels, font size 16 pixels. And then up the top in our group selectors for our anchor tag, font weight 400 and font family Poppins and sans serif, which are these two over here. So at the moment, this class isn't actually doing anything new. However, for a component like a button, it is good practice to explicitly define these properties so you have easy reference in your CSS. And secondly, in the box model topic, we will be adding new properties in here, which don't currently exist in the CSS. So we definitely do need this btn structural class. But I did just want to highlight that currently it is actually doing nothing new, because all of these properties are already defined on our anchor tag over here and over here. All we're doing is using a class, btn, to override the default anchor tag styling. It's just like in the previous video where we applied the orange text class to our headings. The H2 had a default color of gray, which was defined on the type selector, and then we introduced a new class called orange text, which we used to override the default styling. We're doing the exact same thing over here. We've created a button class to override the default anchor tag styles. But it's just a bit funny at the moment because we're overriding it with its existing styles. But as I mentioned, we will be adding new styles in the box model topic. Alright, that was a lot to take in, but you're doing a great job. Drop a comment below to share how you're finding this topic. And to move on to the next video in the playlist, click here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking here.